and I didn't do it.
I told you at that table, I was like, "Yo, it's for our boy Dan and the man."
I should have. I was
It
this
doesn't
close.
match now. You guys got to take all. We got to take all those off because now you can't do it with mine. Wait,
Well,
Jimmy
yeah,
has
Well,
to
you
do
could
the
do
intro
Dan
first.
and then Dan in and then demand, or Dan and then in demand. Or you could say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest self-diagnosed podcast, reseller podcast in the world. It's episode 30, and we got 300 by 30, Dan. But before we talk about that, we got Joe, Philly Picker, Dan and the man. I'm Jimmy Old School Flips, and we have an amazing special guest, none other than Tim over the years. What's up, Tim?
Oh, you know,
What's going on,
man.
Tim?
This is great. This is grand. For those of you, I'm sure you've seen me flooding the comment sections of the Reseller Leftover podcast. I am a huge fan, to say the least. I only listen to 2 podcasts. That's it. When it comes
We
to
made the
reselling,
cut. We made the cut.
you guys and Trash the Cast. There's only 2 podcasts I listen to. I don't listen to anything else.
So this
Thank
is like the inception of fans, because we're your fan and you're our fan. So like that's a fan within a fan within a fan.
So you have to stand in front of each other and say, "Luke, I am your father."
Oh, right with the Star Wars reference.
Well,
huh?
I've never seen a Star Wars before. I just sold a Star Wars card, and then he said fan. Every time I think of a fan, I think of doing that. That's the only thing I know how to do.
Oh, like
about Star
talking
Wars.
into the fan.
Talking into the fan.
Yeah,
Yes,
I-
Luke,
I-
I
I-
am your
I'm
father.
caught.
You never done that before? Stood
Oh,
in front
for
of a
sure.
fan
Oh,
and done
Oh
that?
yeah, I did that. I
Yeah.
used to do that all the time.
Dan still does.
Oh, Joe's been picking on me forever. We're recording early. Tim asked us before, do we usually record on Friday night? And then Joe's going on this big spiel when it's a podcast, and now he's mad because I said something to him. He's
so mad he's all red.
Yeah, I am a little red. I was at a baseball game yesterday.
baseball game.
You look like
Probably it's
me.
a picket line or something.
A picket line.
What game were you at? Kids game or
Kids
a
game,
real
yeah.
game?
Kids
He's
game,
at a commencement, I think.
commencement. Yeah, I was the keynote speaker. Is that what they're called
Yeah.
when they give a speech there?
Is that what they call protesters at a commencement?
I was
Yeah, we
supposed
got
to
Dan
speak.
on there.
Listen, quick story. I was supposed to speak at my graduation. So they had like this whole like audition thing where you had to like go and audition. And man, because like I'm a writer at heart. That's what, like I studied journalism. And so I went in and I wrote this killer speech, like, just basically saying like, I am the example of like going down the wrong path, but finding a way to like do right. Killed it. They're like, yeah. Over the class president, everybody, they're like, you are the speaker for our graduation. And then like 2 weeks before graduation happened, I got into a fight with the assistant principal. We had to be separated.
Like
Yeah.
a fist fight?
And so, yeah. And so,
The assistant principal, was it a boy or a girl?
it was a woman. I mean, man.
Oh,
You asked me, and all I thought about was women size 10. So that's why I said women first. But no, it was a man. And so they took that away from me. They wouldn't let me speak at graduation. Then I had to sit outside of alphabetical order. So they sat me next to like a supervised adult to make sure that I wouldn't do anything like out of pocket at the graduation.
Oh my gosh.
Like they like checked underneath my robe to make sure I was wearing clothes.
What?
The whole shebang. Yeah, because I would listen.
So when they found out you weren't wearing clothes, how'd that go?
No, I wore clothes. I wore clothes. I wasn't gonna embarrass my mom. So yeah, so I did the but it was really dope because the person who did give the speech, they took parts of my speech and said it during, and like they said it in front of everybody, like, everybody knows who should be up here. So it was pretty cool, even though to this day I regret it because like, if I tell people today, I spoke at my high school graduation, 9 out of 10 people are gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like you.
I missed. I think I. Did you say why were you a speaker? Why were you speaking? Did miss
Because
that
I
part?
won the competition.
Writing competition.
yeah.
Well, you had to give the speech too.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't just write it. You had to like, I had to go in front of like a committee and read my speech.
Can we ask what the fight was about? I mean, because you
I
probably had a lot of kids to pick a fight with or get into a fight with, but you chose the principal or the vice
principal.
assistant principal.
Yeah, vice principal. Yeah. I mean, it just was just me being me and anti-authority and not appreciating the way that he was speaking to me. and
They
things kinda,
that's when they told you that dinosaurs were real. That's what really
Yeah.
happened. He came with Tim, dinosaurs are real.
dude. If right now on Netflix, if you pause Netflix, like not pause it, but like you know how like if it gets to the point where like then they just start showing you previews. Apparently, there's some sort of new Jurassic Park like Caucasus World or something like that, and it's just like a little like egg, and it's like a little baby dinosaur eye like sticking it through the egg in the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, like it's just speaking to me.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, it's propaganda, man.
I missed why you spoke because I did speak at my high school graduation twice.
Twice.
Why-
What
what happened to-
you graduated
What?
2 times?
No,
what happened
there
the
was-
first time?
It was midterm, like I don't remember what is it called, like midterm, like some
Well, yeah,
kids
but you were, like, the
graduated
president
in
or something like
January.
that,
Like
right?
if they finished early, they could graduate in January.
That's impressive.
So I spoke at that one, and then I got to speak at the one I graduated in.
But
the
you didn't
spring.
graduate the one in January. You just spoke. at
No,
it.
no, and I spoke. I don't know. I feel like I've told this story before. Maybe I don't know. I spoke because I was the senior class president of my.
You have mentioned before your credentials as far as
Yeah, we
presidencies
know.
go.
Yeah, I have my resume out
We
there.
hear about it all the
Yeah,
time.
I'm not. Yeah. Shut up. Don't stop picking
So
on
let me
me.
ask you this: if I had to give you a plaque, are you choosing student body president, or are you choosing Poshmark ambassador on the plaque?
Ooh.
Poshmark ambassador is a bigger feat than I was senior class president.
Senior
I was not
class
student
president.
body president.
Oh, okay.
I
Big
do have an
difference
award
there.
for most improved student
So
council.
that's like
member.
senator instead of like president,
Yeah,
governor, something like that, mayor
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah.
So you got a most improved student. What?
Most improved student council plaque.
Okay. So what did you improve to? The president?
Where'd you
Well,
start?
yeah, I was just a representative.
So you went
Right.
from like crossing guard to like
Oh, gross.
sheriff.
Just a guy who showed up. I just showed up to the what do you call it, meetings and stuff.
See, that's my problem. I can never just show up.
Wow.
You just showed up here.
Well, but
We
I
thank
listen.
you.
I've already talked way too much, so I'm gonna be
No
quiet.
way.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's fine.
I can
No
never
We had a
just
good
show up.
story. We like to we break it in. We break the ice in here, right?
At some point, I'll tell you about breaking because I did have a crazy incident a couple days ago. Set me
like break dancing or breaking something.
Or like card breaking.
car.
Man,
Oh,
my
car?
TikTok algorithm.
Like CAR?
Yeah, I was driving down 95 or up 95,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, something fell either from the overpass or from a truck in front of us. I was the only person driving, but something hit my windshield and broke my windshield. The glass, it didn't go through the
What?
windshield, but it like some of the like I guess it's like a safety glass or something like that,
Mhm.
like flew all me, and then next thing you know, it's just like slowly spider webbing, and so yeah, so I left my car this morning. I went to go get it fixed, but it was raining outside, so the guy couldn't fix my windshield. So that's
Oh, wow.
$220. But luckily, I didn't crash or anything like that because it was not in my direct line of sight. It was like a little bit closer to the shotgun side of the windshield. Yeah, quite intense.
You never found out what it was. Like there wasn't
Nope.
anything in your car. It just bounced.
It didn't
off?
go through the windshield.
Didn't go through.
No,
Were you
That's-
going to
but
yard
it
sales?
was
You were
hella
going to
scary.
garage sales?
It sounded like somebody shot my windshield.
What if it was like from an airplane? Like what? If, stories of like
Dude, it could have been anything.
that's
Because I
That's
didn't
scary.
see what it was. Like, if I would have saw it coming at me, it would have been way worse because I'd have been like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
it's the DC area. It could have just been gunfire, and that would be the most.
Well, I
normal.
was closer to Baltimore. I was in Maryland at the time on 95. So, but who
Were you going
knows?
to garage sales?
No, I was going to the card shop for Bowman release
Oh,
rip party.
Isn't that?
So did you
were
make
telling
it
me
there?
about
Yeah, I went.
that Bowman release, like that. You said you like watch people break, and then you kind of like did you say like you wait for their scraps or something like
yeah,
that? How,
yeah.
explain
So,
that a little bit to me because you
Okay,
kind of
so
talked about it for a second.
a lot of times at card shops, card shops, right? If there's people will open up boxes of cards.
Like when they first
and-
come out, right? Like
Well,
it's
not
a-
even when they first come out, just like any time. Like this,
anytime.
this shop is really big. It's huge. I put a video out of the shop when it, because they moved to this new location. I put a video out on my sports card channel, like a tour of it, but it's like a huge place. It has like a conference room where they host like birthday parties and stuff, and it's got like huge flat screen TVs, and then the room over from that has like basketball, skeet ball, Fast and Furious, arcade game, all of that, and then they have what they call the card bar. So it looks like you're at a bar, like at a sports bar, but it's for sports cards. So you're gonna sit there and watch the game and open up cards right there in the store. It's like a big ordeal. But a lot of times people who are like, they're not necessarily like kids or high end or like collectors. They're more like just they're ripping for the
Hit
for
seekers.
for the big hitters, right?
Yeah, the
Hit
big
seekers.
hitters and like the adrenaline rush. So a lot of times they'll just leave cards behind.
That's wild.
And so like you can usually get if you're sitting at the bar, sometimes they're like, hey, you want these? And if not,
They
they
just
give
give 'em
them
to
to the shop, and then the shop will, give you a deal on them, like, next to nothing basically.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and especially when it comes like with products that like, like a lot of times people only know like 3 or 4 of the names, like the big names, but they don't
Right.
know all the sleepers like I do. So I just come in behind them and clean up on the sleepers. But it's been crazy. I've been watching. I mean, the first person I saw there open up a box, pulled the Jackson Holiday anime super short print card. So they have these super short prints. So for those of you that don't know in cards, there's short print cards and super short print cards that come like one every 500,000 cards or whatever, right? And this one is the old 55 Bowman design, but they have the players of today in like anime cartoon on the card. They're super cool. And I saw a guy pull that one in the first box I saw open. The owner of the card shop was like, you see, that could have been your box. And I was like, because I didn't buy a box. I didn't buy a hobby box. They're like $300.
Yeah.
The jumbo hobby boxes were $600.
What?
Dude, I've been watching case breaks of that. Imagine how much that costs for an entire case.
Oh my! I mean, there's math there.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I don't do
Dan's
math,
department.
but there's math that you could do. I don't. That's insane.
I'm going to
For
Flea
cards?
Market tomorrow, though. But listen, Jimmy, ever since Jimmy got back, Jimmy been sending me pictures. Like, Jimmy is the new king of glass, if y'all didn't know.
Jimmy?
There it is right there. Look, you were frozen, and then all of a sudden you just reappeared with a glass.
frozen.
That was like magic.
Internet's driving me crazy right now.
That's
Yeah,
like
I
an
found my
$80.
first
That's like an
incentive.
$80
Yeah.
piece, right? Did you comp it yet?
Yeah, I think you're about. I paid $5
Where'd you find it at?
at a yard sale. It's gonna be in a video.
At
So
a
what-
yard sale on a Friday? Like, I just wish I had.
Dude,
some
I'm
stuff.
You don't have yard sales on Fridays?
No.
Dan sometimes has them Thursdays. Didn't you have one Thursday?
Is today Thursday?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Today's
No,
Friday.
Today's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some on Thursday. Well, there's 2 today I went to. There was
Yeah.
more today. I just didn't go. I went to 2.
Yeah, I don't have yard sales on Fridays
Not
or
me either.
Thursdays. Maybe
It-
sometimes not even Saturdays or Sundays.
There was some yesterday, but there was it was like a thunderstorm in the morning, so I was gonna go, and then it was thunderstorming, so then I just I started doing work, and then I stopped, and then today I needed to go to the store, but there was 2 right up the street here, so I went to those, and they
What'd you
weren't
find?
great. The only thing I bought, and I probably overpaid, I bought a hardback cover of Harry Potter. Oh, right here. I'm like, I got it.
I never read a Harry Potter book or seen. It's like I call it the first Harry Potter. That's it. Damn.
You
that's
have
a
never
thick
read a
book.
Harry Potter book?
No, there's a
I'm
look
joking.
at how
I've
many
never seen a
pages are
movie.
in that thing.
No, I never watched the movie either.
Yeah.
I've seen part of the movies.
So what? How much is that one worth? Is it a first edition?
It's
Oh
first-
yeah.
it's
How do you
not-
know?
It's a
There's
first
some
American
writing
edition.
on the inside.
It's
I've
not
never
worth
figured that out.
anything, but I have this thing when I go to yard sales where I was feeling bad. I was looking at it,
Oh boy.
and the lady's like,
I was feeling.
I just kind of looked at it, and there's this guy. First, I walk up,
Oh, boy.
I
Here we
drive
go, yard
past
sale
the yard
stories.
sale. I drive past the yard sale, and there's like I turn the corner, but there's this car right on my tail, and so then I pull over, and I was gonna turn around,
Give him the bird.
and then I noticed that no,
No.
that happened the other day. If I remember to tell that story later,
I won't
I was
remind
gonna-
you. Won't
I was
remind you.
gonna turn around, and a car was on my tail. And then I noticed there was another yard sale down the street, so I was like, I'll just park in the middle and walk. Which the walk was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So I was exhausted.
That's a smart move, though. You know, like the little middle park spot is a smart move.
Yeah, but I was exhausted, so I got there and I was like trying to catch my breath. So I'm looking around, and then this other car, these two guys, they pull up in their truck and they just parked right in front of the driveway. I'm like, I haven't been smart. And then they got out. The one guy was smoking while he was walking around the yard sale. That was weird.
Oh, dude, listen. You
I thought
should
that
have
was
been in
weird.
Virginia. They were all over the place.
Oh
doing that.
my gosh.
The funniest was when I was in the first time I was at 127. I saw a guy. He had a baby in like the what do you call
Stroller?
those things? The baby
Oh.
caddies.
Yeah.
He had a baby caddy with a baby in it and two guns around his waist in Kentucky. I was like, oh man, at the flea market.
That means business.
Ugh. So they were looking around, and then I was looking around, and I saw the books. She had this hardback cover, and then there was some paperback ones, and they were all kind of the covers they're kind of bowed, and they were $1 a piece. This was $2, but I got kind of trapped because the one guy was at the one end, and then these other people at the other end, and I was in the middle between two tables. So I was just kind of standing there, and I was catching my breath, and I was looking, and then they finally moved out of the way, and I was walking around. And the lady's like, I'm just hemming and hawing, like trying to look around. And then she's like, well, I'm open to like taking an offer if you want to offer something.
Oh boy.
You know, as long as it's not like crazy. And then I was just like, oh man. All right, I guess I'll pay you the full price for this Harry Potter book.
Which was how much?
What did she say? It's for the kids.
No, she didn't say it was for the
How
kids.
much did you pay for the book though?
I paid $2 for the book.
Oh, that's not bad. But that stuff
I
doesn't
figured
sell
way
well.
I
too
thought that was a
much.
pretty good price. You think it was
25
too
sell
much?
it all?
cents tops.
5
25
cents?
cents.
25 cents.
It's
tops.
probably worth like $3 on eBay
Yeah,
after
but
fees.
do you have any of the other books?
No,
I
had
collect them.
I had one of these, and I sold it in a whatnot auction for $3.
I got a Harry Potter book here, and this was not planned, but this was one of the books I found.
This wasn't planned at all.
Oh, that one was a lot thinner right there.
Yeah, it's the first one.
That's the
but-
first one. That's an easier read.
But I think I have the rest of them, so this will make the collection. Then I'll sell the collection together. What's their
So
six?
what age group reads Harry Potter?
All age
Like
groups.
65 and older.
I mean, it's,
Really?
it's I don't know. What,
My mom does.
I think it's younger, right? Don't you think?
That's
Well,
all
that's what I
the way.
thought too. But then when Dan shows me that book, I'm like, dude, Harry Potter is the only kid that can be reading that sort of Harry book. You know,
I think people have probably collected who because this first edition. This is Order of the Phoenix. I don't know what year. Oh, what year is it?
Order of the
It
Phoenix.
should
year
say it on the
5.
side.
It came out at year 5. Yeah, it came out in 2003. Like I don't know how old the books are out in.
how many?
I don't know,
I
but
bought
the
a
people
out
are
for a
probably
while, right?
collectors.
I bought a book when we were in Virginia. It was one of those buys where I was just like, it was the day when I was having a rough day. I was just not finding anything.
The one you were flying solo.
Yeah, I was flying
Oh, Tim got
solo.
lost and stuff. Oh man.
I was at this. I did find a really good piece there though that sold in the knickknacks auction the other day. But
nice.
that same sale was a book, and it was by this author that I know because I've sold a book of theirs before. I don't do a lot of books, but it's like Dauphine, something like that is the first name. Dauphine. The name of the book was
Dauphine?
Jamaica Inn. But it was in like a plastic cover, and it said signed, and I was like, oh, it's $1. I might even, never, because Cernock, I don't know if you guys saw, but Cernock found like all these crazy books at the Goodwill, and they were all like autographed, and he's made like $3,000 off of like $30 worth of books, and he never buys books either. But he was just there when they rolled them
Do they
all
have
out.
certs with them? Do they have like the certificates?
Yeah, they had the COAs with them and everything.
Does yours have the COA?
No, I opened the book and it looked like a Facsimile autograph.
I sold a book this week.
What is that? Island of the Battery?
Mystery.
Whoa, that's a little risque there.
It's a Harley Quinn gothic romance novel.
Hey,
Oh.
did you read it first?
No, I think I
He just
underpriced
looked
it.
at the pictures.
Did you say it's a Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
Like
Like
Harley Quinn.
Suicide
From
Squad?
the Suicide Squad?
I have no idea.
Oh, hey. He's like, wait a second. I sold that?
I
I bought a book at yard sale. No, it was a estate sale one time. Guy was, I don't know, trying just to get rid of a bunch of books. I bought some books, and I'm flipping through them. I bought a Wilt Chamberlain book, but it was signed inside by Wilt Chamberlain. I got like $300 for it.
Wow.
Nice.
Really?
And the other books that I bought, I just donated because they were
Was it the
absolutely
book?
worthless.
What was it? The book that was called like 2000 or something like that, where he talks about all the women that he
Yeah.
slept with.
Yeah.
All the women.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to talk about Tim. Tim brought up his day alone where things were, and that day he called us and he's like, "I'm lost." guys." And he's like, it was great because he's like, "I'm going. The road is ending." He's like, "I'm on gravel now." And he's like, "No."
Literally, I've never seen this before. The sign that just said "unpaved road ahead." I said, "Oh God, this is not a good sign." In the back of my mind, I was just thinking, imagine if Dan was in my shoes right now, and he was just moseying through the backwoods looking for yard sales, and he saw a sign that said "unpaved road ahead." What are you
I
doing
wouldn't
at
go
that
to
point?
that yard. I would not go to that yard.
Well,
sale.
there was no yard sale sign. I was just.
It was just
I
the
was
road.
Oh,
Eric's like, yeah, just go down Chatham Business, and they'll just let us know it's in there. And I'm like, giving it to the guys like up to date. I'm like, there is nothing here
It's like
at all
the road
anywhere.
is narrow now. Like,
It's just gotten to just rocks.
Rocks.
For like a mile and a half, I was on this like road of rocks. But I mean, it was. Listen, I had a lot of fun though, man. For me, it's always fun to hang out with everybody, and you learn a lot. And it just, I don't know. It's just for me, it's good because a lot of times I think people forget how lonely reselling can be. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why like you're always like you like the podcasts are always a lot of fun because and I'm sure you guys would have like a group chat now. And like, you know what I'm saying? So like you kind of have somebody to be like, oh my God, look at this, right? Because after a certain amount of time, sometimes your significant other does not want to hear about your reselling.
Oh
day,
no.
You know?
Nope.
So like it's fun to get together with a bunch of people. And I mean we had a lot of interesting conversations. I think Jimmy got to witness firsthand how cheap I am at yard sales. But yeah, and I mean I ate a lot of food. Apparently, I ate all the donuts. That's the word on the street. I don't know if that's
That
true
is
or
the
not,
word.
But yeah,
what kind of donuts?
there were two kinds actually. There
They were
was
little donut
like
holes, like those little donut holes.
there were the donut holes, and those might have been blueberry.
Blueberry.
But then they had like the little spiral star glazed
yeah, I
mini
had one of
donuts.
those.
I got home one time. We got home. I just went to town. Like I mean, I picked up the plastic thing and then like. You know how sometimes you get down and you're like, there's only two left. And then you're like, I can't eat the last two. And then like you start talking to somebody and you forget that you're eating. And then you look down and you're like, damn, there's only one left. Well, I can't just leave one. I got to eat it and finish it, right? So I just ate both of them and threw it in the trash. I think I might have had about 13 donuts in that.
I must have had
standing.
13 Dr. Peppers.
I was kind of upset because those cream sodas started going pretty fast early.
I had one. I'm not gonna lie, I had
Cream
one.
sodas. I love a cream soda.
I don't
Dan,
think
you
I
a
ever
cream
had
soda
it.
guy?
I don't think I ever had a cream soda.
Well, what? You've
Do
never
you
had a cream soda? You had on a Dr. Brown's T-shirt when I first saw you.
I know. I don't think I ever had a cream soda.
What's Dr. Brown?
Dr. Brown's is like a Jewish soda, kosher soda, right?
Never heard of
I
it.
believe it. I don't know. I think I got this from like the hippie store. I think I got it, one of them. They always seem to sell them, and
I worked
Now,
at
do
a
you like-
kosher. I worked at a kosher cafe when I was younger.
yeah.
Quite intense.
I forget what I think I just had the grape soda, or maybe it was the orange.
Black
What are
cherry.
these?
You
Black
probably had the
cherry. That was
black
probably
cherry.
it.
Black cherry is one of their famous flavors.
Yeah, it was black cherry.
I don't like
But
that
yes, I
either.
highly suggest you try a root beer. You could start off with the
A root beer? I had root beer.
a cream soda. You
I had a
could
root beer
start
this week.
Start off with the the name brand stuff.
The A&W.
A&W.
was pretty good.
I love a good
Do you
root
like
beer
blue?
float.
Do they still make blue cream soda?
I've
It
never
used to be a
had
thing
that.
in the 80s.
Never had that.
You've never had blue cream soda?
No, but what about cream soda cake? Can you make cream soda cake, Dan?
Damn.
No.
Ooh, you could because you could bake a cake with soda. You
Yeah.
talked about it, Dan.
Is that where that comes from?
Soda
I don't
cake.
know.
Isn't what soda cake? Don't you make soda cake with soda?
You make you can
Sprite.
make box cake with any kind of. Well, you can use all the kind of. You can make like a chocolate cake with a Coca-Cola. You can make like a lemon cake with a Sprite. You
Huh?
just take a box with the Sprite with the.
Well, you should do Fanta, pineapple Fanta with the lemon cake.
Oh, pineapple
Or
Fanta.
pineapple upside down cake.
Ooh. What goes good with coconut cake?
I don't like coconut unless it's like real coconut, like off the tree in the island coconut.
Okay.
Dang.
I don't do American coconut.
Now Dan
What
is
about
the
a
baker amongst us, so I have to
What
ask
about
Dan
German
what
chocolate?
Ooh,
Chocolate?
German chocolate.
German
Doesn't
chocolate?
have coconut
that's coconut.
coconut
Right?
on top.
It's not American chocolate. I mean, not American coconut. I don't know if I trust Germans with my coconuts either. Kielbasa, yes. You know, sauerkraut.
Oh yeah.
Sauerkraut.
I have sauerkraut. I'm making a turkey Reuben sandwich tomorrow.
Do you ever put little Vienna sausages in your sauerkraut?
No.
No.
You ever had Vienna sausage?
The ones that come in the
Hot
can?
dogs?
Yeah.
No.
I never
Crack.
had those.
So is it kibasa? How did you say kibasa
Kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
or kibasi?
Kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
Like Kill Bill, kielbasa.
That's a type of sausage, is it? I don't know.
Yes.
Polish
You don't know what a
sausage.
kielbasa is?
Polish
holy
kielbasa. I just had it for
smoke.
dinner last night.
Is that
Yeah.
maybe I've had it? I don't know. What's on a Reuben? I don't think I like a Reuben. What's on a
Thousand
Reuben?
Island,
Thousand Island.
rye, and pastrami.
Oh, I don't like pastrami. That's why.
Corned beef.
Corned beef.
I don't. I definitely
do
don't
corned
like
beef.
corned beef.
Dude, if there's I cannot find a meat that I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'll eat anything.
I don't
Any
like
sort of
corned beef.
any meat I'll eat. Pause. But yeah,
Challenge. Time to challenge Tim.
I've had. You ever had alligator?
No.
Yes.
Alligator's so good with Creole honey mustard sauce. It's the perfect combination of fish and
Oh, wait.
chicken.
Dude, oh, I don't think this is it. Oh,
It's
no,
like-
What
What
do we
is
got there?
sausage?
Ostrich?
That seems illegal.
It's jerky I bought from Paul the Philly Flipper. I had an alligator one. I think it's in the other room.
Did you eat it yet?
No, I haven't eaten this yet.
That's
I
like
don't know
just
how.
serious beef jerky or alligator jerky.
I have alligator jerky. It must be in my room.
Alligator jerky is good.
It's. I had alligator at Bass Pro Shop. You guys have Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not here.
Not where I am.
Yeah.
No, Bass
I
Pro
mean, it's
Shop
not,
in
it's not
DC.
local. We have to, I think it's, what's the other one? Oh, Cabela's.
Cabela's.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That's in Delaware. I don't think we have one up this way.
So are you
Our
guys
fish
going
shops-
to yard sales tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I got a community sale I'm going to tomorrow.
Did you write it out? Did you write everything down?
Sony's doing it right now. Matter of fact.
Oh.
She's
Did you
definitely
research the
pulling notes right
neighborhood?
Hey, my mom's going to Shipshewana in like a week.
now. Oh, is she?
I need to go. How far are you from Shipshewana?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Probably 45 minutes.
I need to go out there. They have one of the best card shows, low key, in the country.
Really?
Yeah, the Shipshewana card show. Like a lot of the big name YouTubers go to Shipshewana card show.
How do you even spell Shipshewana?
S
like it
H
sounds.
I P Ship
Awana.
SHAUNA Shipshewana.
Dang.
Never heard of it.
I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, but I just felt like I was in a spelling bee. Just
I have no
now.
idea if it sounds right. It sounds
Use it in a sentence.
Country of origin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to Shipshewana and I'm gonna see my man Dan on the way
When
to
is that?
Shipshewana.
What is that card show? Card show.
I don't. The last one passed a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go see my man Dan because someone in the comments said that, or I think Cajun, he said I gotta go to Dan's area and take him to yard sales and record
Chris
it.
said
I'm gonna
that?
do that.
I sat down today and I was telling my mom, I go, Mom, I swear to God, I swear, I know I don't go to enough garage sales, but these garage sales suck. They suck.
It's
and then I go,
tough.
I say that, and then I go, listen, everyone else is like, oh yeah, I went to 25, 30. I think I would die if I went to 30 garage sales in a day. I would literally die.
It's rough.
And-
I probably
and I
went to 25 today.
I went to like 10 last week, and then that you guys go to like 2/3 more. Like you go to 30, and then you find stuff. Like
I've done like
there's no way
60
I'm
in a
making-
day before. I think is like my limit. Like 127.
Like, how do you make it to 60? Do you just drive up their driveway and ask them what they got?
You go from. Listen, I'm on a mission. When I'm on a mission, I'm on a mission. You got to get up, crack o dawn,
Crack-a-dawn.
and then
Out the door by 9 o'clock.
127.
Out the door by what time?
9?
No,
8:30.
we're probably on a break at 9:30, 8:30. We're on.
We're 3 hours
Listen,
in at 9 o'clock. Dan.
So I tell my mom, I'm like, my mom's like, do you want me to? I go, there's a neighborhood sale. It's like a couple streets over tomorrow, and I'm like, there's a neighborhood sale over there. She's like, do you want me to come early to pick up? She watches Dodger. I'm like, yeah, if you could get here by like 8, that would be great. But I go, if you're tired and don't want to, don't worry about it. She goes, I won't. That's what she told me. She's like, I won't.
Why don't you bring the dog with you to your yard sales?
You think he would like that?
I do.
He would.
And I think you could probably get some good deals.
He likes to be out.
Look at the cute little
you're
dog.
gonna unload him at every sale. You're gonna take him out of the car and walk him up to the sale.
Get a dog caddy.
Oh, he wouldn't like that. He's too big for that.
How about a stroller?
Oh, he wouldn't want that either.
He wants to get
A wagon. I'll give him a wagon.
Wagon, yeah.
You don't have a flea market by you, Dan? Have you ever tried to find a flea market by you?
So there's a flea market I just found out about from a listener. It's like an hour and a half away from me.
Oh, it's not that
And
bad.
I promised him I was gonna go at least one time this year.
Dude,
It's every Sunday.
I bet you would. Have you ever been to a flea market?
Like I've been to flea markets where, yeah, like I have, and I always think it always looks like fake stuff there. It's
Well,
like,
see, that's the problem is that finding the right flea market, because there are those flea markets where it's like
knockoffs.
a table of like laundry detergent, toothpaste, and deodorants, and then like the guy that has like 5,000 Nikes and stuff like that. Like there are those, but if you could find like one of those, because you're like in the middle of the Midwest, man, there's gold out there. You just gotta, because I feel like you would be good for a flea market, because you get yourself a wagon, you park, and you just go,
And you take Dodger and you just go.
yeah. And think about it, you don't have to get in and out of the car every 10 minutes, driving around. Everything's in one spot. It'll be. I think you would be good at it. You would do good at a flea market.
I'll be honest. I was thinking about that exact thing. I was thinking about, should I go to this yard sale tomorrow, or I was thinking about going to the bins. But I'm like, I'm gonna go to the yard sale, I think.
I feel like you got to go to the yard sales because the bins will always be there.
Yeah.
The bins will always be there.
That's winter time, but that's winter time.
That yard sale might not, it's not going to be there next weekend, so at least
Oh, sorry.
No, I feel like you do have to go more, there's some weekends, the yard sales where you can go almost to every yard sale that you possibly can go to and only pick up a few things. There's been many times that I've done that,
I'm new to the Midwest, but I got some advice that it takes some research, Dan. But the way to do it out here in the Midwest is find the whole town sale, but make it a small towns have citywide
townwide sales.
Yeah, they had a bunch of them last weekend. They were all like last weekend.
That's what I've been doing today we went to a townwide sale. Me and my friend Tori from Mother Daughter Thrift, and we ended up in the basement of this house that there's.
How did you get out?
No, yeah, we were locked down there. We talked about trafficking already. We're like literally pulling clothes from the 60s out of this basement. Like that's how, because it's just been sitting in this basement forever. But like the entire town sale was amazing. And I feel like half the sales we walk away with stuff. And that's how my experience with small town citywide sales go. And I'm going to give you another key factor that we kind of tested today. We would ask for video games Tori asked at every sale, do you have any video games? And we kind of started following up with the question, did anybody else ask you today if you have video games? And no, you're the first person. Like that doesn't happen in the city.
Right. Like where I live, that people will come and ask for video games. If you say no, they won't even look at anything else. They'll get back in their car.
People will ask from the car. From the driveway, yell up the driveway,
just roll their window.
Yeah.
So I feel like you need to try that, Dan. Like it takes some research, like Facebook groups.
Yeah, but does it have to be video games? Can I ask them if they
No.
have any kids'
I'm saying like
to
find citywide.
Yes, I do. No, listen,
Citywide sales in small towns. man.
Shernock is the
children's
king of
clothes.
that. Ask for what? What are you asking for?
Children's clothes.
You have any
Children-
women's
for
size
kids,
10
no.
shoes?
You're about ready
I
to be
sell-
a Kiddison
I sell on
ambassador
Kiddison.
soon.
Do you sell on
No.
Kiddison, Tim?
No, I have reached a point. I'm on 8 platforms now. So I don't think I can take.
I'm
on-
excited. Wait, I'm excited we're having you on this week because I've been struggling with that. I don't. How do you? Okay, so if it, I don't, we haven't really. If
I don't
someone
even
hasn't
know
met
what
Tim
these
before,
platforms.
Tim sells on every platform. Well, yes, 8. Has 2 YouTube channels, 3 if you count.
4.
4.
4.
Oh, Authentic in the Beard.
Yeah.
You and plus you. How many
Countless.
marketplaces on District are you on?
And one
As
more
a
question:
seller?
how many Instagrams are you in charge of as well? Real quick.
Yeah, countless
Over
Instagram.
the years, eBay. Over the years, collecting Reseller Information Network, One Stop Shop, and it's like 5.
Wait,
Five
is that
Instagrams.
over the years sports too?
Over the years, sports too, so 6.
6 Instagrams too. What is-
Like how do you divide up your time? I mean, this is a serious question. Like
I
how
don't.
do you do
I'm really
do it all
bad at
yourself?
it. What's
Do you
that?
do it all yourself too?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I
Yeah,
do it
I
all
mean-
myself.
One man show.
Yeah.
Do you
Like, how do you
sleep?
divide your time?
I'm really bad at it. I'm trying to get. That's one of the things I'm really trying to get better at.
And
is-
you're married.
yeah.
So what
I
you're
am.
trying to say is, Jimmy, stop texting me.
No. I'm really
What, do you
trying to
text him
get.
all the time?
I'm really trying to get good at time management. That's time management and organization are the 2 things I think that
You're not organized.
No. Listen,
That's
I've
shocking.
never used.
That's
I've
shocking.
never used a skew in my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dead serious. I have like a semi photographic memory.
Okay.
So-
that's useful for sure.
So, but it's semi.
semi.
Yeah, because sometimes I think I saw something and I didn't see something.
Well,
So like in my
Deja vu.
mind, I can see it
That's
in
a
this
gentleman's
one
club
place.
around here, by the way. There might be a franchise. You ever heard of it? You guys have,
what's
you
it
guys have a
called?
Deja Vu by you?
No.
No.
It's a strip
You
club.
got a deja vu?
I don't know if it's still open. It used to be. It used to be a strip club called Deja Vu. I felt
Oh, I
like it was
thought
a
you were
franchise.
having deja vu right now. I didn't know.
No.
No.
The,
a strip
Dan's
club.
hangout is called Deja
No,
Vu.
shut up, Joe. Don't start that stuff, Joe.
Yeah, listen.
Did you have a favorite dancer there?
No,
No.
Nikki?
I never
Oh.
been there. I
Just
never
like
been
them
there.
all.
No.
You heard about it?
I've had some.
Well, I used to drive by it. I don't know if it's still.
Like he does
Have you ever
yard-
been to New Orleans?
No, I have. My brother goes all the time. He says
Dude,
I need to
I
go.
went 8 times in a 4-year period. My first
North.
Mardi Gras, I got 8 staples in my head.
What? Did
Yeah.
you fight, who are you fighting now? Principals?
No, he moved it up to the principal. Vice principal was this was the
8
principal.
Well, dude, when I was in high school, I told him I was going on a college visit, and I went to Mardi Gras.
Oh, you have to go.
amazing.
Oh, we have to wait. We have to go. We interrupted you. You were saying something important. That was like.
Oh, yes.
I've been waiting all week to
Organization-
ask you this.
Organization and time management, I think, are the 2 biggest things that hold me back from being successful at what I do. So that's what I really am trying to like get better at. And it's the problem is like, you all know, well, you know, like when you do this and you depend on it, right, to pay your bills and stuff like that. Like sometimes it's like,
That helps.
I can't just take a day and be like, okay, I'm gonna take today and I'm gonna organize and I'm gonna clean and I'm gonna, spiffy things up, because I need to make sure that certain things are done in order to generate income. So like sometimes it's hard for me to like, I always feel like I'm backlogged on like detailed oriented tasks related to reselling. So like organization, time management. So like, and for those of you that don't know, I'm sober, right? So I've been sober, I don't know, it was a long time now. 14 going on 15 years. And so I one of the big things about getting sober is routines. Like, so you keeping yourself busy and having a routine. So like a lot of that is like over time has like overflowed into reselling. So like I'm always keeping myself busy, so I'm always doing something. But like it's really just those are the two things I really want to be able to like get better at, and I'm trying. It's not one of those things where people think that you can just be like, I'm gonna put everything in bins and slap numbers and letters on them, and I'm gonna be organized, right? Like that's not how it works. Like that's like reality TV reselling. So like for me, it's so much more intricate than that, and a lot of it has to go to also dealing with inventory, what I'm sourcing, stuff like that. Like, do you know how many times I go and like I have my guest room is full of my boxes right now of my inventory. You know how many times I sell something and I go and I have to go get it out of a box and I have to go through 12 different things that's inside that box, and every time I look at those 12 different things, I'm like, why are these still here? Why do I still have these? You know what I'm saying? So like it's just a matter of like just really digging deep and like going through the inventory and being like, I'm either gonna sell this live, I'm gonna start it at a 99-cent auction on eBay, and if it doesn't sell, I'm either gonna donate it or I'm gonna take it to the auction house.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
So you
And,
sell
like-
at auction house also?
So Cernock and I did it a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
I brought 16 boxes of stuff.
16 boxes?
16 boxes of stuff. They told
They
us
sell them in
they-
box plots. Yeah, like
They told us, they said, hey, next time, because me and Cernock each loaded up our cars with stuff and pulled up.
Would
to
they
the
tell you
auction
next
house.
time to ease up? Not so many.
Yeah,
or-
not so much between the two of us, like, because if we do it like that to let them know in advance and separate it and stuff like that. But we did really well. I mean, 16 boxes of stuff that I have had for 3-4 years.
I should do that. We have
And
an
then
auction.
I took like 600 pounds of cards, like base cards and stuff like that, and like Pokemon cards and all types of weird cards, like Neo pet cards and stuff like that, and like Beauty and the Beast and Lion King, all that. I made after fees, because fees are
They
like,
take a lot of fees, right?
yeah, like 35%, something like that.
Oh, wow.
But you don't have to do anything. You just drop it
Drop
off.
it off and pick up your check, right? Or
Yeah,
pick up
that's
your
it.
money.
What'd you
Oh,
make?
that's
What'd you make? You
I
did
did.
almost-
I made $740 or something like
I'm
that.
doing that all day. I need to do that.
Yeah. So like it's a process though. It takes a little bit of time because you drop it off there, then they have to process it. Then you find out what date the auction's going to be. Then the auction runs. Then they got to wait for everybody to pay. You know, because sometimes people come and pick stuff up because it's not shipping only. It's
Oh, it was
it's
the
pick up-
online auction.
It's high bid. They did high bid too.
Oh, hybrid. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking in person. Okay.
Yeah, so it was it turned out to be really good. So like now I'm like that's kind of like in the back end of things, but I have to drive to Cernock, which is like an hour and a half from here, and do it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to Cali next week, and then I kind of
June. Tim travels all the time too.
June is gonna be crazy, like buckle down month. I was in the back of my mind, I was thinking about maybe doing a live sale every single day.
Oh,
On whatnot or all
On
your
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
So how do you decide if you're gonna do glass or cards? Like, I feel like if I was picking between cards and listing glass, I would just want to list cards all the time.
Well, because with cards, it's more of a volume game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
With glass, I mean, listen, ask Jimmy. Like when I went down there and
Yeah,
I
glass.
ran that auction with Kevin and Mike, bro, like that opened up so many eyes to people because I mean, the amount of money that was made in the course of like 2 hours,
It was wild.
insane,
Lights.
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like, and that's something that you learn over time too. Is like picking up certain pieces. It's like, okay, like I'm not gonna pick up like this goes into like time management too. So it's like when I'm sourcing, I'm thinking about a lot of different things. It's about okay, like how big is this item, right? So like first and foremost is always price. Jimmy will tell you I am cheap.
Yes. he will try. He will. That he'll be like $5. He'll be like, how about 2? And then the guy be like, no. And I'm like, Tim, I thought Tim was still going to do the deal. And he's like, nope. All right, later.
Like for me,
I was
it's like
editing my videos and you're in them, or I was going through the footage and I'm like, Tim is like trying, man, with that guy with the table. And he's like, finally, the guy was like, just get away from the table. Like, you're not getting anything on this table for $5, dude. Like, just move away. That's what we told him.
I told him, I said, how much is it? I need this. I want to see what's inside this jewelry box. And then he was like, I picked up the sterling silver shakers, and he was like, I said something crazy, like $40 or $50, and I was like, nah. Where's the $5 stuff in here? He was like, there's no $5 stuff inside here. I was like, where's the $5 stuff? He's like, there's no $5 stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Then I brought the fishing reel and the G-Shock watch up to him. I was like, how much for the pair? He was like, well, as soon as they start, it's about ready to be a tough negotiation. So he's like, well, the reel right there, that easily goes for, $70. or $50, and then I'm gonna need like 50 for that. And he was like said something crazy like $50 for the reel and the watch, and I was like, oh, how about 20? He was like, oh no way. I was like, all right, how about $5 for just the watch? He was like, okay. I was like, oh, that worked out.
How much for one rib?
Yeah. So, but like, I always first thing is gonna be cost of goods. Like I like to buy cheap, and it's something that I would like to get into doing bigger buys and stuff like that, but like right now I'm because of my overall situation, I have to be cautious with that, right? So the cost is big, right? And then it's like, how much is it going to sell for? Like I'm not gonna buy something for $5 that sells for $20. I'm just not gonna do it unless.
How about if it sells fast?
Unless it sells fast and it's small.
Okay.
Easy to ship, sells fast, then I'll do it.
Or a baseball card.
Yeah, like a baseball card is a good example, right? A piece of jewelry, like a brooch or something like that, right? Something very small, maybe, but it has to sell fast.
Yeah, like your paperweights and that you
paperweights, exactly.
Yeah, or
if I'm gonna put it in my in a live sale, right? Then I'll buy it, right?
Yep.
But like, I'm looking at sell-through rates. I'm looking at high dollar items. Oh, look at those. Are those vintage?
Ooh, little boot.
No. But I paid $4.53 for them. They sold for $19.99, and they sold in one day.
See, perfect. And look, easy to ship, easy to store, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
So for me, that's what it comes down to. It's just like, I'm never gonna be the type of guy that's gonna spend $250 on something to sell it for $350. No way in hell. I can't wrap my head around that. Like,
even if you bought it today and sell it tomorrow,
I would have to have a buyer lined up for it. That's the only way. Because for me, it's like, yeah, okay, I think you never know. Anybody who tells you that, I know I could sell this in one day for this amount of money, they're full of shit.
Joe always says that.
But no, I can't do it unless I know. Because for me, it's like, I know my luck. I'll buy it. Something will happen, and then next thing you know, I'm stuck with $250 sitting in a box for 6 months.
Return it.
Oh, but Dan, you grew up in an era when they don't do returns, right?
I don't do returns. I hear you guys talk about it all the time. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're not talking. Oh yeah. So I want to talk about what I learned. One of the things, big things I learned from Tim about glass is that, like, you know how we talk about clothing, when you go to list it, it's a little more work and like. It's easy. It's like more work on the front end, but when you sell it out the door, it's super easy, right? Well, I think glass is the total opposite, right? Not too hard to list, take pictures of. You can just stand it up there, but on the back end, I watched Tim pack glass for like 17 hours.
Yeah,
53 item pieces of glass, Dan. I packed.
So much work when you. So that's a big factor in Tim's time.
Yeah,
the amount of glass he ships, he spends a lot of time just shipping glass, man.
I don't understand how you do all this stuff, Tim, for real.
I was packing last night till like 2 in the I packed today. The post office, I dropped off 56 packages between 56 between whatnot, knickknacks. I made a sale on One Stop Shop. I made a sale on Depop. Macari, Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy.
Wow.
So I had to pack all that up.
How many? Just out of curiosity, how many were cards though? Like
16 and no 13 and 9, so 22 of the packages were cards.
you got that pretty streamlined, right? Like packing a card.
Well,
is
it's still a
pretty
lot of
easy.
work for you, right?
Yeah, packing cards is a little more. It's not as strenuous, but it can be tedious. Just
I mean, you
because
still got to make a label and all that. That's still
so
Well,
like
you bubble wrap it, don't you?
yeah, so I do. I have cardboard that I will cut, but I use I have like a method of cardboard. I use a certain type of cardboard, so it's easy, quick, and it's perfect size. So I cut 2 pieces of cardboard. I put the card. It goes in a penny sleeve top loader, then into a team bag. In between 2 pieces of cardboard, tape on all 4 sides, and then 1 sheet of bubble wrap, and then in a bubble mailer.
Not the good bubble wrap though.
No. Not that bubble. Joe and Jimmy got to see the famous bubble wrap in person.
I did.
Oh, dude, that's like it's like a bunch of little footballs. It's that like like you could tear it down and play a little mini football with those.
You could put it inside a pillowcase and sleep on it, Dan.
Yeah,
Is that what you do? That's for your glass?
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it. Think about it. I brought some of that roll home, but I packed 53 pieces of glass with that bubble wrap, that whole roll. When I walked in with that roll, Mike and them were laughing at me. They're like, "I'm gonna be able to pack all the glass with that." Mike brought 7 5,000-foot rolls of bubble wrap, and I'm like, "No, I can't use that."
Yeah, you didn't want nothing to do with that. You left it outside in the ring.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but when he was like, "Then we got Walmart boxes over here," Tim was like, "Blasphemy!"
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
He just came. He was like,
What kind of boxes do you keep in inventory, Dan?
I have
yelled,
eBay 8x6x4 boxes. And
8x8x6x4s.
8x6x4. What did I say?
You said
8
8x8x6x4.
No,
That's
no.
damn. You wouldn't have 4Ds.
No. 8x6x4s.
I keep those.
I have an 8x8x8 box.
Bung.
And I have a 12x9x4.
That's a weird size box.
What are you shipping that?
I'll put a pair of shoes in it. I got it when I first started reselling. I watched RVA Flips a lot, and then he would ship action figures, and that. So then I always carried it and I use it.
Yeah, action figures are tough for me if I don't have like a Amazon box. I use a lot of recycle boxes, but not as much as I used to because I don't have anywhere to store them. But I use a lot of recycle boxes.
Oh, and I have 4x4x4 boxes.
What?
Yeah. Oh, that's.
Can you even ship anything in that?
Yeah, I
do
just
all
shipped
kinds
something
of
today. I
rounded-
shipped a
I thought it had to be at least a 6x6x6.
I thought so too, but I ship with
I always
4x4x4
ship with that.
all the time.
I use
manage.
I use a 6x4x4 box a lot.
10x8x6 is a clutch box to have.
I don't even
10
keep
by
it. I
6.
keep a 12x8x4. No, yeah, 12x8x4 tall.
That's the one that Dan
I don't
uses.
people are listening.
10x8x6. What? But for
I
glass,
just shipped this today. It's a dinosaur, Tim.
Okay.
10x8x6 right here.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to get that in 10x8x6.
Yep.
What is that? That looks like a tortoise.
It's a Jurassic Park World Campus. I don't know how to say it.
How much did that sell for?
25.
What kind of dinosaur is that, Dan? Say that.
Burning real dinosaur right
That's
there.
the
Tim.
Dan
That's real dinosaur.
Aykroydorus.
Dan Aykroyd.
Cretasaurus,
Is that what that says?
Ankylosaurus, bumpy dinosaur. I got that from I bought some stuff from a listener of the podcast, Eddie. Eddie, I sold that for $25.
Damn it.
That's a good
That's a
one.
Chevy Chase Silver.
And I was gonna put it in an 8x6x4 box, but I didn't have one in here. I had it outside, and I'm like, I think it'll fit in a 4x4x4 box.
Did you wrap it in bubble wrap?
No, I did paper. I had packing paper.
No
It's
bubble
a
wrap.
It's a plastic thing.
Yeah, plastic breaks, Dan.
It's fine.
Everything gets a piece of bubble wrap,
Oh my gosh, this internet.
I know. I didn't want to. No, there's
except for clothes.
So
Wait,
I was just
what?
there.
But sometimes I'll put if I'm
Well,
I did
sometimes
shake
I will
test on
bubble
it.
wrap a shirt or a jacket or something like that
So I could have used that piece that's been waving this whole time.
because I'm worried about the like a pearl snap or the zipper like breaking. So like
Fold
I'll
it the
put a
other
little bit
way.
of bubble wrap on it.
Fold it the other way.
But
I started doing that too. Yeah.
if you don't have bubble wrap, you know what else works really good?
What?
Ugh.
Toilet paper.
Scott's toilet
rolls.
paper.
Yeah. There you go.
Toilet paper.
I have PTSD from that. Can't even look at toilet paper.
The people
See,
that
you
are
guys are
listening
better
on
people
Apple,
than me.
they
I
can't-
will
they
I
don't
will
see that.
I will flip out. I'll
What?
flip out.
I'll be honest. I would have used bubble wrap, but I put the packing paper in there, and then it fit perfect. And then I put more packing paper on top of it. I'm like, I think I can get away with it. And then I
That
did the shake
dinosaur
test, and it
just
moved.
needs paper. That dinosaur, you put some paper around it, it's fine. I do that all. Tim, I've shipped thousands of action
I had it in a
figures
bag,
without
too.
bubble
It
wrap,
was in a
and
bag.
I've never had an issue.
I'm Murphy's
Have you tried
law,
that
man.
some
I'm
thousands?
Murphy's law.
Oh, now you got me freaked out.
I've never had it. I've never had
Oh.
it. Dan, I ship action figures every week,
I know.
and they
you
go on
did-
a 6x4.
I bought an action figure from you.
Wait,
man.
so hold on. Let me
4x4
ask you something.
by 4.
When you ship it with the card back and everything, do you bubble wrap it?
The car.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like a brand new one. Yeah.
If it depends on the value. That becomes the value. If I got a lot of money for it, for sure. But there's a lot of like Toy Biz figures that aren't worth much. It gets paper on the back and paper on the front, and that's it.
See, like I'll take one and I'll put it in a clear poly bag, and then I'll wrap packing paper around it, and then I'll go around it with small bubble wrap, and then I'll put it in a box, and then I'll put paper around it so that it doesn't touch the edges of the box.
So you do all
100%
that work,
this is
and
what you
then you
need,
do all that
Tim.
shipping work too. All your shipping.
Tim,
It's
you
like-
need to spend some time with a bad reseller. And I'm not saying to do what they do, but you need to see, and you probably have. I've seen it firsthand. People shipping stuff and just doing a terrible job.
Oh my god!
From void fill to everything. And so what it told me is like there's people that will ship stuff just terribly. They won't even put void fill. They'll just throw it in there and it's bouncing around the whole time. And that's like common. It's a common thing. So
I
like,
noticed that. I've noticed
people
that.
are
Listen,
doing that and you're actually taking the time to put void fill in there. You're doing better than a lot of sellers.
I get a lot of because for me it's I guess a lot of it too is because I do so much live selling, right? And
Right.
so much about live selling is retention.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a good retention rate with your live sales. You want to have people return customers. For those of you that don't know what retention rate is, so I get people that message me all the time, like they might have bought like a $15 item, but when they get it, they feel like they just bought a $100 item.
I thought Joe was retaining water with all that sun he got today. He's all red and just holding in the water.
He's just mad. He's
He's
mad about
going,
something.
he's
I think he's mad because we're recording this earlier,
sitting up there.
and we asked him to come
boiling.
on. Before that, he wanted to talk about our foreign policies or something.
What are we talking about? Foreign policy? What?
Joe, that's what Joe wanted. It was either I
What?
said
I want to talk
suggest-
about it.
No, I don't want to talk about any politics out here.
That foreign policy. I thought you were talking about your
International.
eBay. Do you ship international?
I that's
You
my
would
foreign
think.
policy.
You
That's
would
what I do ship internationally. But yeah. So,
Oh wait, did you
Go ahead.
have you guys had the new what do you call that? The price match thing?
I told you. Who was I telling that up to about?
You were talking about that on the. So who was talking about this?
I
Was
think
that
I
you
was.
talking
I
about
might have been on
RIM?
RIN when I was talking about it.
Someone
I
was
saw
talking-
something about it, but
I don't like it.
sometimes you gotta.
You,
You gotta.
did because you said you found the loophole, and Kevin said,
Oh,
"Of
yeah.
course Tim was going to find the loophole."
What's the loophole?
Like it's so basically like somebody will put something up right for cheap, and then you buy the other person on who offers price matching. So you make a list. You have your buddy list this item for $3, right? Knowing
Yeah.
that somebody else has that item listed for like, knowing it's worth like $40, right?
Oh.
So if somebody has their price match on and you send them the price match for $3 and you buy that item for $3, take down the $3 listing, and now you have two of them that you could sell for $40 and you just paid $3 for. Make sense?
Seems like a lot
Yeah.
of work, but I see what you're saying.
Wait, so
But
do
like
you have to
the-
opt into this thing? We got done recording the last episode, and then Joe mysteriously found saw a video shared about the price match thing, and I watched.
Was it
most of
the Country Star Flipper?
No, it was who was it?
Further south, Flipper.
Further south Flipper.
The guy that the guy that lives in your buddy.
Whoa, take it easy with that further south talk.
My buddy,
You're going political on us, Joe.
the one with the fancy car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
The one to put it out.
Did he do one yet? I don't know. I'm
No,
waiting-
what's the one that you sent us? I don't remember.
Oh, that was
I didn't even. I didn't. I
Flipping
haven't seen the
easy.
video.
Flipping ain't easy. Is
Flipping
that
Ain't
it?
Easy. Yeah.
Flipping
Flipping
ain't easy.
easy.
I watched
I
it.
saw it on Instagram and I watched a little bit of the video. I never saw it before or even heard of it, but
I think it's in
I just
beta.
feel like it would be like they can't even figure out how to do instant payment, and they're going to try to figure that out.
Do you
So it's
think,
something we have to do. We have to opt into, right? I mean,
I'm
I don't-
waiting to hear about this ground advantage box situation I've been hearing about. See if
I've heard
that's
that
real.
rumor too. I'll take some.
what?
That
they're gonna
post
do
box
like
is going to be
ground
giving you
advantage
free. Gonna give free ground advantage
That's a
boxes.
game changer, man.
I'll wait until your buddy makes a video of that too before I get my hopes up.
He wants
Then you
to.
can ship
He
your
wants to.
glasses to him, Tim.
He wants to ship thousands of packages a week for you. That's what he wants to do. I saw the picture on Instagram. He had like 14 like poly bags in his trunk of his car, and he's like, "We're doing big things. I'm gonna. Next thing you know, we're gonna be shipping thousands of items for you." I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Oh.
He's like, I'm in here, and he's like showing you like the view. He's like, you see this inventory back here, and I'm working over here. I'm like, dude, there's 3 NASCAR diecast cars on your floor and 4 bottles of Windex. What are you talking about?
What are you doing with the?
Like, what? Who? I just want to know. Don't be one of those people that watches that and like, where is that level of naiveness?
Where do I pay?
I don't understand how somebody can watch that and be like, yeah, this is a great idea. I'm gonna send this guy all my stuff. He's like people are fake resellers, but yet he's promoting a service that he's trying to sell a service that promotes fake reselling. He's like, you don't have to list your item. You don't have to take pictures. Just send it to me. I'll do it all for you. I'm like, wait, what? Then you're not reselling.
The eBay fulfillment center, right?
Yeah, what is that? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a thing. I mean, what's that? Ebliss? Have you heard of Ebliss? But they're a big business. Ebliss. They're out of the Denver area. They have an entire warehouse where people ship their inventory to them, and when they get a sale,
It's like
they
40-year-old version.
Huh? Yeah,
it's like 40-year-old version.
Check it out. I'm not trying to give them a shot, but they're actually successful. They
Yeah.
do it really well.
But it's like 40-year-old virgin, right?
yeah, exactly.
Do
But
they
they
still have
store
those sort of
all their-
eBay stores?
There was
that?
one in a town over.
I
from me.
don't know
if it's still there.
I don't know exactly how it all works.
So
Sorry.
what did they take? So what would you get at the end of it? I'm sure they got to take.
Oh, they take a cut for sure. It's like a transaction fee for sure. But
It's like
It's
what I
all
do with the
comes in, they
auction
ship
house,
it and
basically.
everything.
It's just like what I do with the auction house, but it's like on eBay.
Yeah, but that's a flat. I mean, it's not like you
Yeah,
know
I
what I mean.
don't-
Like
I've never
you're
used
paying. There's an
I don't-
eBay fee involved in that. You're selling it. Then I'm sure they have to take a fee.
That's why I don't do consignment. I would
And then
never
what's-
do
and
consignment.
But
then
you
what's
know the owners of Ebliss, the one thing you don't see is them making YouTube video about it. They don't, they have an Instagram and they promote their business on it, a little bit, but they're not like making full length videos, blasting YouTubers and stuff like that. So like they're actually running a really well ran business. They use their social media for the right reason, for the right way.
I'm contemplating switching over to Vendu, Dan. What's your
Ooh.
latest move with Vendu?
Ooh.
I'm a big List Perfectly guy, but listen, I feel like it's like Vendu might be faster for me.
So my biggest problem with Vendu is that they've had problems with with Macari since like I think December or it might have been early January. I
been
can't
a
use
while.
the app. I can't use the app to list on Macari, and then
But
now
you're
Whatnot.
a phone lister, aren't? Are you a phone lister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're a
you
phone
list on
lister
your
too, Joe.
Oh yeah. I don't think I
You're a
might have.
phone lister too. I'm surrounded by 3 phone listers.
you list on the
You don't-
computer.
Hell
You
yeah,
can't even talk to Tim
Oh,
about
then you're gonna love.
can't-
You'll love Venue. Then you'll love it. It's
Yeah, you
awesome.
Yeah,
will.
the only thing I list on my phone is district.
Wait. So you
District
don't
is-
list. You don't list on your phone.
No,
Tim,
no. The only
I'm
thing
gonna-
I use my phone to list on is district.
I'm gonna say this, and this is all. I used to be a PC only lister. I swore by it, and then just because everybody said the phone is better, I tried it, and I haven't gone back.
See, but it's not just eBay too. It's like my
Yeah,
phone is
cro-
meant
I
for
don't
things I
cross-list
can
for
do
that. I don't
quickly.
cross-list.
I don't like to use my phone for things that like are extended like time on one
Yeah.
site. Like it just feels like awkward. Like I feel like I'm like claustrophobic on a phone trying to do things on the internet. Like I want my phone things to be click swipe boom, right? I need to do the typing like stuff like that. Like
I get it.
it just
A good
I don't
reason
know.
to list on your computer is because it gets you in your work area. Like that's a big part of what we talked about is like finding time. When you're on your computer, you're probably in your area where you do a lot of your work, so it gets you like in that work. Where if I'm listing on my phone upstairs with the dogs on the couch, like, and then Sports Center comes on, I'll look down and I haven't listed for 45 minutes because I got into Sports Center. You know that's
And
not
my
good.
phone-
that part's not good.
My phone is you ever been doing something on your phone and then you get a notification and you touch the top of your phone because that's where you were going to touch anyways, and then you click the notification. Now you've been taken out of that app into a Whatnot show.
Oh,
and
it happens all the time.
I hate
You'll
that.
hear
That happened to
perfect.
me and this person on Whatnot. That I clicked it and went in their show and I hurry up and
You
left.
didn't want them to know, right? I know.
But they knew I was in there and they started tagging me and then they started messaging me.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go, buddy?
So we gotta know. We gotta know.
But I was trying to list. But because I list in my bed. I lay in bed and I list. So I don't want to curl up with my computer. I need my phone.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
by the
lays in
way,
bed, he takes
Clutch-
the pictures, then he lays in the bed, then he took the pictures in.
Yeah.
Clutch move on the
everything.
bed rotation, bro.
Do you do that?
Yeah, you got to.
Do you set alarms in your phone?
No, but I'm going
you
to
don't.
now moving forward. Dan has changed my life with that.
I know.
I mean, it's a good move. I like. It's a good move.
Because my back, I got a bad lower lumbar, so I got to do a little rotation for the lower lumbar.
Heck yeah. Well, so go.
What are we
to go
talking
back to
about?
Vindu though is so if you list on your computer, you'll like it. Because you can right now. It said I was complaining a lot about it, and then I did that 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I did that secret podcast with Trash to Cash.
Ooh,
And,
secret.
I was complaining about that, and then Dave, he said, well, he has some contact with Vendu, so he reached out to them and asked them, and they just said there's something wrong with Macari,
Yeah.
and that
So
right now
a lot of
you have to
times
list-
with these sort of, like intergalactic site operations, right? You it's not necessarily people are, they're not very tech savvy. So they always want to blame the service that they're using and not realizing that it's the other service that they're connecting to. So District has a problem right now with Twitter, which sucks because I was crushing it on Twitter with District Magic Comments. But because Twitter changed something in their back end, now it doesn't allow the function that the Magic Comment function to work on Twitter.
Damn it,
So, like,
Elon.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that dude's always doing something. You gotta watch out for that guy. Do any of you guys use Twitter? I know Dan used to use Twitter for his
Isn't it called
gambling.
X or something like that now?
Nobody calls it X.
I don't know.
That will always be
I
Twitter.
don't
Never
I'm
use Twitter
horrible
ever.
at all social media, but I'll use it. I've used it for like my sports bets.
Yeah, I know.
I've never Twitter pated. Is that what they call? What do they call it?
I do have an account. I don't remember my login, but I know for sure that the icon is still like an egg. Do they still give them out for like the new new accounts?
It's an X.
It's
Everything's
an X
now.
now.
Yeah. But Twitter's really good for the sports card hobby. it's a massive lane for generating revenue and networking.
So
That's the thing, man. Social media, if you know how to use it, like some people think about using, like I wish I could get to the point where I made money on social media, like outside of YouTube. It's so difficult. It feels like, but I mean, we all know people that make good money using social media that are reselling. But I think
They're
that
all fake YouTubers though, or fake
Yeah,
resellers.
of
They're all
course.
fake resellers.
Of course, but
That's Jimmy talking. It's not me.
Keep going.
yeah, Dan's like gonna be like, we're gonna have to put a disclaimer up for that whole section where Tim's talking about that guy. But
That's what the one guy said, that if you're a YouTuber making money, you're not a real reseller.
yeah,
That's the moral of what he said.
but I think people really downplay the opportunity to not necessarily generate direct revenue as a reseller on social media, but the ability to get more eyes, the possibility, because I remember at one point in time, and I've gotten really bad at being consistent on social media, which is another thing I want to work on. But like, I remember I went on a 7-day stretch where I posted an item on my Instagram page, and for 7 days straight, that item sold.
I got a question on that. I mean, this is something I'm actually learning and kind of struggling with, and I'm gonna sound like a jerk, and I always do. We already know, but like, because when you get that message on Instagram, and they're automatically they're wanting to come in with a really low price. Like, I don't know how to do that now.
I didn't sell the item on Instagram. It sold on other platforms.
So what did you do? Put the link in for it?
Sent them the link.
If they message me, yeah, I just send them the link. Unless they wanted to buy it like
Most
direct.
people are like, oh, that's a good price, or like, I feel like messages I get, they're always trying to.
Dude, my link. I don't have Linktree. I have a different sort of landing page.
Yeah.
But you can go to every single thing that I have, that I do is pretty much in my link.
I mean, my link tree is not very impressive genetics, but it's not very impressive. It's just a small link tree.
But yeah, just because the thing is like, I don't think people really understand the power of Instagram as a search engine. Okay.
Right.
If I want to find something out, you can just search Instagram. Right. And the use of hashtags is so like important. You know what I'm saying? And so like,
I've been saying that for years, man.
Instagram is really turned into a search engine more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And so, and now that you can, back in the day when I was doing Instagram, you couldn't put a link in a story.
Right.
Now you can be like, this new listing. I just put up this new listing. Bam. And then put the link in it in your story. If somebody really likes it, they're going to click on the link. They're going to go buy it.
That's a good idea.
Then you could always offer them a discount code. Use an eBay coupon if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, to me, it's just, that's why I sell on so many different platforms. Because if I have the same picture and the same title for like an item, so there's some items I can list on every single platform, right? Like a hat.
Yep.
I just sold a hat on Etsy for $120 that I had been sending out $50 offers for on eBay for the last month. And nobody bought it. And I sold it on Etsy for $120. So like a hat goes on every single platform, right? So if somebody is searching on Google, because I have that image, the same title on 8 different platforms, Google is going to push it to the top as far as they possibly can for somebody to click on, because it has that consistency of the same image and the same title over and over and over again on all these different platforms.
Wow.
So
see, I don't know any of that when it comes to social media and all that. It's just something I gotta get better at. So
it's for that's the thing, is like, you think you people think they know everything, and then like they change everything. And then
how did you know that those sales came from Instagram? How, like, was there a way for you to tell?
I didn't know. There's sometimes you can, on certain reselling platforms, like Etsy's really good about tracking traffic. So I can look at my Etsy and see where where people are clicking from and stuff like that. Like if they're clicking through Google, if they're clicking through Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, YouTube. I don't know if you can do that on any of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like, for me, it's just always been like there's the more eyes, the better. Like I mean, what's why not, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, think about it. I sold a hat on Etsy. I sold a hat on Depop. I sold a hat on Poshmark this last couple of days, and then I sold cards. I sold glass. I sold women's jeans. What else did I sell? I sold all types of random stuff the last couple of days. So like, it's just I don't know. Like for me, that's the power of cross listing. It's just you never know because some things sell better than others. But I will go weeks sometimes without selling stuff on some of the platforms.
Yeah.
But like that's also because of the inconsistency in listing. Like I'm very bad about my inconsistencies in listing. That's another thing I want to get better at. How people always ask you, how many items should you list a day, or how many items do you list a day? Hell if I know, man. It depends on what happened that day. You know what I'm saying? Like I might be packing all day. Like I don't have time to list, right? But for me, that goes back to also like what I'm sourcing. It's like, you know, if for me, it's always about dollar amount more than it is. You know, like the cards have kind of helped with that though. So like if I list 3 pieces of glass, $80 each piece, and I list, you know, 5-10 cards ranging between $5 and $30, that meets my goal of dollar amounts with the high end glass pieces. But it also does the whole like, you know, all the listings making traffic with the cards. So it's like, you know. You can got like that's why I'm always every time I listen to you guys talk and I've always been intrigued and it sucked because I didn't get to pick Joe's brain like I wanted to, but like I wish I had a list of like Blu-rays and DVDs that sell for crazy money,
Right.
Because like I would never want to be one of those people that sells a DVD for $2.99 free shipping. Like those people, they're not even real people, in my opinion.
Right. I couldn't
How
tell
do
you.
you find that out?
Like a lot of it just goes from just scanning. Of course, I look for the box sets and things like that. And then once you sell a couple, you know, different ones, it's easy to, you know, pick up that way. But I'm shocked every time I pick up a DVD that it's a new one that I found. Like I found when we were out in Virginia, I found the 2001 World Series of the Diamondbacks. Look that DVD up. I mean, if it's brand new, it's selling for $200.
That's
What?
crazy.
And I would
That
never
was
know.
a great World Series, though. That was a great World Series.
7 game. It's all 7 games are included in the World Series, and I think
Young Kim was blowing saves like crazy in that World Series.
But like that's one that I wasn't even going to look it up. I'm like, it's a sports DVD. I mean, especially around here where I'm at, we see the Eagles, you know, Super Bowl one, and all this. They're not worth any money. But for whatever reason, I just was like, let me look this one up.
So why made you decide to look it up then?
I don't know because I never seen it before.
And why are you just telling me about this now?
Because I had to say something for the podcast.
Yeah, but you told me about it last week. You know how many times I passed up sports DVDs today?
Well, I'm just saying they're not like I said, a lot of them aren't. But for whatever reason, this Arizona Diamondbacks 2000. I don't know what the reason is. Yeah, I did list it. It's mine's used. It's a used. I think I have it listed for $120 or something.
I'm gonna go look at it later.
Luis Gonzalez hit that bloop single to win the game.
So, but there's not a list that I have or anything else like that. But a lot of it is, and a lot of times it is the last thing I look at because I'm looking for other things first. And then if I can't find anything, there's DVDs everywhere at every probably yard sale that you go to.
Oh,
just taking the time to look at them. You know what I mean? And most times people are, and I'm in the same boat when I had, you know, before I was reselling or whatever, when I had DVDs, they were just a pain in the ass to look at. You know, you never watched them, number one. I can't tell you if last time I put a DVD in a DVD, you know what I mean, and watched the movie.
Tell you either last time I watched
anything that plays DVD.
So I don't know who's watching them. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff is.
I do. Come to Ohio. I'll introduce you to them.
But I found out a lot of times from people that I've just based on the questions that I've gotten on some. A lot of it is the eBay sourcing. You know, they source on eBay to sell on
Amazon,
FBA, and FBM.
And some of the DVDs are worth double the amount on Amazon than they are.
That's just weird to me. Like,
It's just the convenience of Amazon. There's so many people that shop on Amazon, they have no idea about these other shopping sites. That's the only one they know, and that's how they get it, and that's how they do it. Like,
Yeah, I ended up going to a few years back. It was I went to a yard sale where I bought out I think I bought like 450 DVDs, and the majority of them, I would say 350 of them were good DVDs, $10 and more.
Wow.
And they were weird ones, cooking shows, like random cooking shows.
So will you sit there and scan them all, Joe? Like,
yeah, I won't scan for it.
Your phone.
Yeah, I'll just use my phone and scan them.
That takes some time right there.
When I'm sitting around doing whatever. But like that guy, I bought 450 DVDs. I think I don't know. I think I bought them for $50, 75 bucks, something. And I'm like, I'll look through these at home. And I found a lot of them. They were the guy that traveled. What's that guy's name that traveled?
Anthony Bourdain.
Bourdain or something like that.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain, his stuff. A lot of travel shows like that.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Like things weird, like shows that you wouldn't normally see. But yeah, I've done pretty good with DVDs. But
see, I'm gonna maybe like try and put together my own list, because I know there's some that like Blu-rays that sell for really good money. Like just kind of like to make my own sort of mental list. Dan, do you have a list for clothes?
Where's that list at? He's like, where'd I put that?
Listen, because
he's got a copybook. I don't know if he wants to share what's in the copybook though.
You say coffee book?
Copybook. Don't you have a copybook of
What's a copybook?
What? A notebook. I'm sorry, a notebook.
Oh, I got my notebook and my listings.
Yeah.
I do listen.
Dan said he's got a list. If you join the membership down below.
Yeah.
What is that, Tim?
This is my notebook too, where I keep I do my listing measurements and stuff like that.
See? It's not so weird, is it now, Joe? It's cool because Tim does it, right?
No, Tim has measurements and all. I want to know everything you have in yours. You won't disclose it.
I have an old one here.
We're digging deep here.
How much of it is going to be is it redacted?
Oh, redacted. Yeah. Oh,
there's nothing but black lines.
Yeah.
Wait, it might be.
He's like, oh no, this is my coloring
because it's
book.
evolved over time.
This is the Charizard of.
No, but like when
wait,
I first
they're
started,
all the same type of notebook too.
He has a case of them.
They're all these.
Oh, this one's this one with my shoes.
So what is in there? What do you write in there?
This is where I put them.
Tape it,
like your size or what?
So you can't see this if you're listening to us on Apple or your.
Shout out to the Hot Air Balloon.
Yeah, the Hot Air Balloon podcast.
So if it's my shoes, I write it on a piece of paper when I'm outside.
Wait, hold on. You tape it into your notebook
because it's on another piece of paper.
That's a little. Hey, listen, big shout out to Dan though, because you aligned those red lines pretty good there.
That one's I don't really use that one that much.
So what do you write down for the shoes? Just the size?
Oh wait, look at this. I'll show you this one because it goes to my sports betting too. So
of course.
I take this is my notebook that I take pictures of for like my clothes. So I put the date up here, but now it's evolved to I put the year because I have plenty of other years on it now. And then I put what I listed. I put what it is, how much I paid for it, and then the SKU number that it is. And then that's so if I put this away, and like for some reason in the SKU on eBay I don't write in where I put it. If I sell and I need to find it, I go back to the date I listed it, and I can look to see where I put it.
That's not.
Or sometimes I mess it up. But then up here I'll be listening to TV podcasts and they'll tell me like bets and stuff. So I don't.
Do you don't put your measurements down though? Like what measurements do you include in your listing?
Just so for like a shirt, it's pit to pit and top hem shoulder to the bottom hem.
But they're not in the listing. It's just in the.
I just do the pictures
in the photos.
I used to years ago. I used to write it in, but I mean.
So I
People ask me-
have templates for all my type of listings. So if I'm listing cards, I have a card template. If I'm listing a hat, I have a hat template. If I'm listing clothing, I have a clothing template.
Like
If I'm listing
we
like
can't
glass,
we can't do templates on our phone, Tim.
see,
yeah, like I don't. Man, you probably put a lot more work into your listing than I do too.
Oh, dude, my listings.
How do you get anything done? I don't understand.
It's a
How do you do all
template.
this?
It's a template, so it's a little bit. Some of my my descriptions are like 5,000 characters.
Mine is the title, and then I put what's wrong with it. And if it's nothing wrong with it, I put good pre-owned
Listen.
condition. And then I put please see pictures for reference condition. If it's a shirt, reference condition and measurements.
You guys wonder why you have returns.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I'm not Tim. I don't know what that
We're
word
not
means.
supposed to talk-
I'm sorry. Can we have like a code word or something for that?
Yeah, let's come up with a. What can we
We
use?
do need to come up with
I
a
have to-
code word for
I
that.
gotta check out some of your listing, like your descriptions. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
you're
like-
the eBay lurker, man.
We'll
Go
call
look
them
at
rock
them.
stars. We'll call instead of returns. We'll call them rock stars.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't
call
know if
rock
I don't think I'd follow your store, Tim.
So like I listen, like I said, I live by Murphy's Law. So I always
Gas
prepare
station Murphy's or-
whatever can go wrong will go wrong
Oh,
is
yeah.
Murphy's Law.
I
So
don't know
basically,
why.
like I do everything I possibly can to take preventative measures for anything being. So like I use like lawyer wording in my descriptions.
And you use all the AI backgrounds from
You
Photo
can
Room.
start a podcast if you know how to write a contract.
Everything is everything's AI background for my main photos. Yes.
How do you do this? I don't understand.
Listen, I'm perplexed by how much Tim gets done. He has a twin brother, like for sure. have the same
Multiplicity.
He,
And you
twin
get all
Tim
this.
is over there. He's listing cards right now. I'm telling you.
But you get all this done, and you still want to work on your time management.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I struggle with, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. There's the time management part of it and organization. And like you said, it's just not organized where you keep your listed inventory. It's
I've said it a
organization
million
of
times.
everything.
Yeah. Everything.
A big part of it is being honest with yourself. I feel like there's a lot of people like, they watch Ginger Marvin and they order banker boxes or whatever those called, and those banker boxes are still just sitting in a folded
Dan.
pile.
That's what it is.
Never been. So they're
No,
watching too much, but they're not actually acting, and they're not being
Yeah.
honest with themselves. They're not doing the work that they need to do.
Well, it's the tough
And then
part
but then they come on here. They'll go on someone. They'll question like, I just don't know why, and this, and I don't. And it's because you're just not being honest with yourself. You're not doing the work you need to do. It's hard.
That's the other thing,
it's
too,
a
is
lot of work.
I'd never blame eBay or I never blame it. If something is not selling, it's not eBay's fault. That's my fault. I think that's one of the biggest things too, is I think some people, like you
who am I gonna
said, they're
blame?
not being honest with themselves. You don't look yourself in the mirror because like, for me, like if you don't buy junk, first of all, I say this all the time, stop buying crap. Okay. Just
Yeah,
because
man.
like
Don't tell them that, Tim. Keep buying that stuff. That's the stuff I'm buying.
Like people will buy crap and they'll take a crappy picture and they'll use a crappy title and a crappy description and they'll list it for $14.47 and then they'll go on Facebook into a reselling group and be like, I don't understand what's happening. Why isn't this selling? And I'm like, well, because nobody wants it. And there's 7,000 of those items that nobody wants listed. There's a reason why there's still 7,000 of them listed. And nobody can find your crappy listing within the sea of 7,000 crappy listings because you used a crappy title. And they look at the picture and they're like, why do I want to buy this? There's the dog hairs on it. And it's taken in front of a closet door on the floor with a ketchup package next to it. Like, that's the thing that, like, people, like, you got to be honest. I'm so glad you said it. You got to be honest with yourself.
Yep.
You got to, what am I, people always want to be like, what's wrong with eBay? It should be, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? That's what I always look at myself and I'm like, that's why I'm always changing. I'm always adjusting and adapting things because sometimes it's so easy to get comfortable and be like, oh yeah, well, I just listed 20 things. Now, of those 20 things, how many of those 20 things sell within a week though? That's what's so important, because next thing you know, you bought 20 things, you listed 20 things, 1 week passes, now one of those things sold, and what are you doing? You're out buying 20 more things, doing 20 more listings. Now you're in 2 weeks, you're like, oh I'm listing. I have 1,000 listings in my eBay store, right? But what's selling? If you're not selling things, this isn't a competition to see who can get the most eBay listings.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is how much can you sell?
Oh, we should compete on that for next week.
Yeah, you guys should have like an ongoing like reseller leftover league. But like that's what it is.
Sure.
I think that was a big thing that I had to do it. I never used to pay attention to sell-through rate. So I was buying, like you said, slow movers or buying, like you said, a crap, and it sits around. You get frustrated.
Some people just never. I mean, I agree with Tim, but like, there are people that are just bad pickers, and it's never going to click for them. What I mean, I don't know. I think of some people that I can think of that they kind of fall in that category. And so, like, no, I'm not talking about you, Dan. And I'm just joking. No, but seriously, like, I don't know what they do, because there's people that are not as computer literate and are slow on the computer. So that's a struggle for them. There's people that aren't great pickers, so that's a struggle. Dan, I'm talking about Dan on everything right now. Dan has unfolded banker boxes right behind him right now.
I know.
Be like Dan. Look, he uses his banker box. So there are different struggles that people have that, like, I feel like I'm a decent picker. I miss stuff. People let me know in my videos all the time I miss stuff, but I
love it when people do that, because for me now it's like I'm learning. Like, dude, if a viewer is gonna help me learn, please do it. You know what I'm saying?
I used to think when I first started though, I was listening, I wasn't selling anything, and I would almost be in tears. But I at the time, like, I was like, I'm doing it. I was like that. I was like, I mean, I wasn't going on a Facebook group like complaining like that, but like in my head, I'm like, I've been listening. Like, what the heck? I'm not selling anything.
But it's like, because people think it's magic. People think it's magic. It's really not. Like, trust me, I get frustrated all the time too, because I think about like this. When I put in a lot of work, right? The AI backgrounds, the nice titles, the detailed description, I'm like, this should sell, right?
Yep.
And I think one of the worst things for me too is sometimes I look at my like the views and watches. I'm like, why is nobody looked at this? It says 2 views. Like, I don't understand it, right? And so like sometimes it's like, okay, so I like go back and I'm thinking about what did I do wrong here? Like, did I misread the market on this? Stuff like that. So like sometimes it's important to kind of go back, and that's what I've been doing as I'm trying to cipher through all the crap that I bought when I was doing crappy reselling, right? And it's like, so now you kind of like you have to mess up in order to get better. Like, you just have to, because otherwise, like, you just think that everything you're doing is right, but it's really not.
Try to make those mistakes as little cost as you can, but if you learn from it and it didn't cost you a lot of money, like if you spent $5 on the item and you learned a lot from, like, just by looking up the price on that and the sell-through rate on that item in that category, because you're not just fighting out on that one particular item. Make sure while you're there, like, okay, this has a bad sell-through rate in this category, this particular one, but are there any other action figures from this line that do well, or this type of glass, and make sure you're doing all that research when you made a mistake. To make sure
it's okay too to not have everything sell within a week. But if you have things that don't sell within a week, make sure that you're not spending a lot of money on those things. Make sure that they're not taking up a lot of space in your inventory, and make sure that they're not something that, you're not buying a vacuum cleaner and then when you sell it, you're on Facebook trying to figure out how the hell do I ship this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know how to do all that stuff first.
And then you lose money on the shipping because you didn't price it right.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing, the reason why I was asking too about the list is, I think, Dan, you ever watch Thrifting Life?
Thrifting Life
On YouTube?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I think I would recommend him for you, right? Because you go to the bins a lot and you look at a lot of like random clothes and stuff like that, right? So like this dude, he like
Who's thrifting? Like?
dives into the analytics of sell-through rates like nobody else does. He's very mundane. Like it's not like, me like screaming right now.
Not like Tim.
Yeah, he's very mundane, but he's straight to the point. And he breaks down the sell-through rates based upon categories, based upon brands, all that stuff. He will give you specific like item from a specific brand, like an Abercrombie and Fitch, and it'll have like 120% sell-through rate. But I would never pick it up because what's Abercrombie and Fitch, right?
Yep.
But like he has a manifesto, and it's name your own price.
Thrifting Life.
Yeah.
What's it? What's his name? Matt.
I forget his name. Yeah, but
Thrifting. Yeah, I just haven't seen a video from him in a while because he like sold everything and went to Mexico.
Yeah. But he has an updated manifesto, and it's name your price. So you could just go on there and buy it.
I did buy that.
You do get it, right? We talked about it, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, oh, Thrifting Life. I was thinking no. And I was like, why does that name sound familiar? Yeah, I used to watch.
So like I really like to dig into stuff like that because it opens up your mind and your eyes to other things. So like I got like cycling jerseys and cycling shirts.
Yeah.
Like I had picked some up and randomly saw his video like 2 days after I picked them up and I was like, damn, I should have bought all of those. You know what I'm saying? But like fishing lures, I'm doing fishing lures now too.
Yeah. I saw a couple out there today. But
I showed them to you guys. Some of those old wooden fishing lures sell for $4,000.
It's insane.
Dang.
And that's you just mentioned that to me. And so what the first thing I did is I wood fishing lure sort highest plus shipping sold. And I was like, holy $4,000 fishing lure, Batman. Yeah. That's another. And I had no idea. And I don't know if I'll ever find one, but now I know when I like go look at fishing lures, I know to try to find a wooden one. I don't know if I'll ever find one, but it's crazy.
Their backdrop, I feel like, is an arcade game. Like, like I must be really tired, but like Dan's shelf, like I feel like the red top right there should say NBA Jam, and then like I feel like it's an arcade thing, but it's not. It's just a shelf with boxes on it, blue and green and red.
And there's
What was that game where you just had to make a
yellow
hammer?
down there.
That's what it's like.
Yellow's on the bottom.
Yeah.
And don't forget you got Joseph praying down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, halfway through the thing,
like
I saw Dan like this looking at his phone, and I saw Joseph back there. I said, "Man, I feel like I'm talking during prayer in church or something."
Shut up.
Joe over there, man. Joe's just sitting up there looking all angry with that red face.
I don't know what that is, man. Maybe my blood pressure's up or something.
What you got on those hangers, Dan?
Right here.
Yeah.
It was a whatnot show I was supposed to do yesterday. I've been.
Did you do it?
No.
Oh.
I rescheduled it. I've been struggling lately to try to. That's why I can't keep up with. I'm at the point where I can't keep up with my eBay and my whatnot. It's too much. Like that's why I was really excited to have Tim on. I want to know his secret.
There's no secret.
It's just like I feel like I'm just burning myself out at both. Like just I don't make enough. I don't make much on when I do like a live show. I don't make very much.
Well, see, this is the thing too, and obviously like we're working on it on District because I feel your pain with whatnot because it happens. The thing is that it happens to almost everybody, right? Unless you're like, Kevin, Dave, Paul, these guys who have like massive amounts of following and they're running shows all the time.
You didn't say Jimmy when you said massive amounts of following.
Yeah, no. But like I tried to sell the other day. I was like, I have this box of women's turtlenecks. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and sell them. And I went live on whatnot, and I did not. It didn't.
You did not sell the turtleneck.
I was live for about 17 minutes, Dan. And
oh really?
No, I didn't even show one turtleneck.
I just, to be honest, I wasn't feeling great yesterday. I was supposed to do it last night. And
you should have wore a turtleneck for the turtleneck. You should have straight up worn it.
I was like, I'm just gonna reschedule it for today, this afternoon, or because I did one last Friday night and it was awful on a Friday night. It wasn't a good night for me to do it. And then I was like, I'm gonna go garage selling on Friday. I don't want to have to come home and then do it. So then I was like, I'll just do it. I'll do it Sunday. And then I'm like, Sunday's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna do it.
It's
then,
tough
so.
like that sometimes. A lot of it is timing, man. A lot of it is like sometimes you just gotta see like what sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like find that sweet spot of a day and a time that works and in the category that you're selling in, because
I was doing like Wednesday afternoons for a while, and then I had a couple that were really good, and then a couple that weren't very good, and then I was like, let me try a different day, and then I'll try a different day, and then it's just kind of like that. It's I don't know.
I think I think is important for Dan, and maybe I'm off base, but I feel like Dan needs a category that he just like. I know you like clothes, but I think you need a category that you have fun with. Like Tim with his cards. Like Tim has fun. Like it's fun for him with the cards. And I think
I miss Dan woohooing.
Like fun.
That's what was my favorite part of Dan's.
Oh, that's
whatnots.
those are the garage sale ones.
Dude, that's where your money is right there, man.
When I'm listing toys, I have fun. And like Joe with his sneakers, that's fun. Like, and some of the vintage shirts he's finding, he has fun with that.
That was my show last.
You buy a lot of brands that aren't just they're you like it, but it's not fun to find like a brand name T-shirt. Like you need a category that you like. You know what? I need a break from the clothes. I'm gonna go work on these sports cards. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Dan's a sports card guy, right, Dan?
But he needs to expand that category and just have fun with it.
I don't know.
I might be wrong. It just feels that way a little bit. Because there's got to be if you're doing this right and you're full time, you're doing this right, you're gonna get burnt out. That's how you know you're putting in the work and you're doing it right. You're gonna get burnt out and you're gonna need a break. But if you add in those categories that are just like they give you a spark of like fun, like I'm gonna go list these vintage sports hats. To me, that's a blast. Like I'm having fun while doing that. It's actually like a little built-in break from the stuff that's like, I got these Sony blank media. That's not fun, but I'm gonna list it and sell it. But it's not fun. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you got to add that in. We're getting close to the end of this, man. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. We're getting close to the end, but
wigs, Dan, wigs. Dude,
he does have a wig nearby, doesn't
he? Yes.
Where's your Wayne's World hat that came in the inflatable? Those of you listening on the Hot Air Balloon Apple podcast, Dan's having trouble getting his wig on. It won't stay on.
There it is.
Dude,
take the hat off, though. Just the wig.
Just go, yeah, there you go, right?
Dude, you should just
if you grew your hair out, would it look like that, Dan? Like, is your hair straight or curl?
Dude, maybe I should just do all my shows with the wig on.
You should. 1,000%.
Just like this
do a woohoo with that thing. People will start.
Woo!
Let's start throwing that money out, boy. But no, good. When you sign off, go on eBay, type in wigs.
Wigs.
Yeah, there's been like $24 million in wig sales in the last 365 days on eBay.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go find me some wigs.
So everyone listening on your favorite Apple Podcasts, not Instagram, Spotify, and all them, come over and check out the end of the video when Dan put on his wig. We want to thank Tim over the years so much for hanging out with us, making this show that much better. Because Lord knows I don't do it.
No, and we have to put Tim's. We'll put Tim's channels in the description.
We
didn't do like it wasn't very much an interview. We didn't want to interview you.
Yeah.
I don't think it was an interview.
Listen, I can come on anytime, man. We can talk about food. We can talk about politics. We can talk about returns. We can talk about
No. We do a one-on-one. Joe and Tim can do a one-on-one.
We need to have Tim on here and have him do the intro because my intro's struggling these days. It's terrible.
I love you guys' intro. Listen, no, seriously though, for those of you that are listening and watching, like these three guys are like three of my favorite guys. Like I will do anything for these three guys, and I support them because I wholeheartedly believe in what they do. I think it is a fantastic balance of, you know, comedic relief and reselling information. And I think that they all have different advantages and different viewpoints on a lot of different things when it comes to reselling. That I think it's important for people to listen to. And the way that you guys deliver each episode with that sort of like mixture of, you know, stories and comedic relief, which is what we need sometimes from reselling. So like, I really believe in what you guys are doing. I think you guys are on something, and I only listen to one other podcast besides you guys. So you guys are definitely doing something really good. And I really think that you guys have something special here, and I'm looking forward to the future. And I'm their first guest.
Yeah.
You are.
For sure.
You are.
When we look back
Number
on
one
this, when you guys
fan.
are at like 10,000 subs, I'm going to be like, yo, I was the guy. I was the guy. I told y'all they was going to blow up.
And then it won't be any of us on here. It'll be three new people.
Oh, I'll still be here.
yeah.
The name
rid
will
of
still
them
be
too.
around.
I'll quit like 45,000 times by then.
Yeah, Jimmy will be on his 5th podcast. by then.
Podcast. Oh, man, my
Since
name
this
has been dragged through the mud for all. All right, guys, it's been fun as always. Like Tim said, we have a blast. Tim, thank you so much. Joe,
Thank
Dan, everybody, happy Mother's Day that just went by, and we're getting ready to get to Mother's Day. So all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Thanks for listening.
Get
to
your
the
flowers from Costco. Best place to buy your
Costco.
flowers.
Costco flowers. Reseller Leftovers podcast.